If you're a diehard Browns fan and love breaking down the game like we do, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a blitz. There's a storm brewing in Cleveland, and it's not just the icy winds off Lake Erie this time. Word around the league is that Kevin Stefanski, the usually calm and composed head coach of the Cleveland Browns, has absolutely lost it behind closed doors. Sources close to the team are saying that Stefanski had an explosive outburst during a team meeting earlier this week, reportedly demanding the front office consider moving on from star defensive end Myles Garrett. Yeah, you heard that right. Myles Garrett, the franchise cornerstone, the face of the Browns' defense, the man who practically defines this team's identity. Apparently, tensions have been building for weeks over internal disagreements, and it all came to a boiling point after the team's most recent loss. Stefanski, known for his even-tempered demeanor, reportedly slammed his playbook on the table and said he was done with the drama, claiming Garrett's attitude had become too much to handle. Players in the locker room were left stunned, unsure if this was just an emotional reaction or a sign of something bigger. And now, the rumors are flying faster than a Garrett sack. Has the relationship between coach and superstar completely broken down? Insiders are whispering that this isn't the first time Stefanski and Garrett have butted heads. Sources say there's been a quiet tension simmering all season long. It started with subtle disagreements about leadership. Garrett reportedly wanted a stronger voice in defensive game plans, while Stefanski pushed back, insisting that all final calls come from the coaching staff. Things took a turn during practice sessions when Garrett, visibly frustrated, called out what he saw as soft preparation and a lack of urgency from the team. Stefanski didn't appreciate being challenged in front of the squad. Those close to the situation describe a growing divide between the two figures, one representing the players, the other embodying the authority of the staff. It's the kind of conflict that can split a locker room in half. The Browns have always been a team haunted by instability, and this latest drama feels like déjà vu. Could history be repeating itself? It sure feels that way, especially when your head coach is reportedly shouting about cutting ties with the best player on your roster. What's truly shocking here isn't just Stefanski's reaction, but what it might mean for the Browns' future. Myles Garrett isn't just a player. He's a generational talent, the type of defender that forces offensive coordinators to lose sleep. Trading him, or even suggesting such a move, would send shockwaves through the league. Imagine the headlines. Cleveland Browns shop Myles Garrett after locker room rift. The very idea sounds insane, yet this is where the whispers are leading. Some within the organization believe Stefanski feels undermined by Garrett's growing influence in the locker room, especially among younger players who see him as the emotional leader. There's talk that Garrett's frustration with the coaching philosophy, particularly the team's conservative play calling, has reached a breaking point. And when passion meets ego, fireworks are inevitable. What no one expected was for Stefanski, a coach known for poise and calculated decision-making, to let that tension explode into open conflict. This could be the start of a power struggle that reshapes the entire Browns organization. Now, some are wondering if Stefanski's job security could be at risk because of this. After all, this isn't a good look for a coach already under pressure to deliver consistent results. The Browns fan base, long-suffering and deeply loyal, has been through enough chaos to recognize when smoke might turn into fire. If Stefanski truly wants Garrett out, he may find himself isolated within the franchise. Garrett's jersey is one of the top sellers in Cleveland. He's the heart and soul of their defense, the kind of player fans rally behind through thick and thin. To turn on him now would be career suicide for most coaches. But here's the thing, Stefanski's outburst might not have been strategic at all. It could have been pure emotion, an eruption born out of exhaustion and frustration. Still, emotion or not, once those words leave your mouth in an NFL building, they spread like wildfire. Executives hear it. Agents hear it. Reporters catch wind of it. And before you know it, your private frustration becomes public chaos. Meanwhile, the locker room reportedly feels like a ticking time bomb. Some players have begun to take sides, those who stand with Stefanski, emphasizing discipline and structure, and those who ride with Garrett, valuing passion and player leadership. That's never a good sign in a professional sports environment, especially when playoff hopes are still on the line. A fractured locker room doesn't win games. It implodes from the inside. Sources close to several veteran players say the tension is palpable. Meetings feel colder, practice is quieter, and team morale shaky at best. Garrett, for his part, hasn't spoken publicly about the incident, but those who know him say he's furious but focused. He's determined not to let emotions derail his performance. Yet privately, he's said to feel betrayed by Stefanski's comments. If this relationship can't be mended, and fast, the Browns could be looking at an offseason filled with uncomfortable conversations and massive organizational changes. Fans and analysts alike are scrambling to piece together how things got this bad. Was this inevitable? Did Stefanski and Garrett simply grow too different in their visions of leadership? The Browns' recent slump might have accelerated everything. Losing magnifies friction, and when expectations are sky-high, every sideline stare or locker room comment becomes a potential spark. Garrett, who's always played with a chip on his shoulder, thrives on intensity. Stefanski, however, preaches control and calm execution. Oil and water? Maybe. Some within the Browns organization reportedly tried to mediate earlier in the season, arranging private talks between the two, but those discussions didn't go well, according to one source. If that's true, this blow-up might have been months in the making. The big question now is whether the damage is reparable, or if Cleveland is about to witness yet another chapter in its long saga of internal chaos and star player departures. Behind the scenes, the Browns front office is reportedly scrambling to do damage control. Team executives are said to be holding late-night meetings, trying to assess how real Stefanski's demand was and what it would mean to even entertain such an idea. Trading Myles Garrett would be an unthinkable move, not only for the on-field implications, but for the message it would send to fans, players, and the entire league. One insider described the situation as a Cold War between the coaching staff and certain players. Stefanski is trying to reassert control, while Garrett's camp, quietly but firmly, believes that the defensive star has earned the right to speak his mind. It's a classic case of ego meets ambition, leadership versus loyalty. And make no mistake, the Browns' locker room is feeling the pressure. Even those who want to stay neutral are being forced to pick a side, because in a situation like this, silence is rarely an option. The question is, how much longer can the team pretend everything is fine? There are whispers that other NFL teams have already started monitoring the situation, curious to see if the Browns would actually consider parting ways with Garrett. You can bet there are at least 10 general managers right now thinking about how to make room for him, should things in Cleveland go completely off the rails. Garrett's talent is undeniable. He's a game changer, the kind of defensive presence you can build an entire system around. For Stefanski, however, this isn't just about football, it's about authority. Some reports claim he feels that too many players have grown comfortable questioning his leadership, and this incident with Garrett is just the symptom of a larger issue. If that's true, it paints a picture of a team slowly losing its identity. The Browns were supposed to be a powerhouse this season, a legitimate contender, but internal chaos has a way of ruining even the most talented rosters. The timing couldn't be worse, and the optics? Terrible. What's interesting here is how divided public opinion has become. Fans are flooding social media, arguing passionately over who's in the wrong. Some believe Stefanski is right to draw a line in the sand, insisting that no player should ever challenge a coach's authority. Others argue that Garrett, as a team leader and elite performer, has earned the right to speak up when he feels the direction is wrong. It's a debate that mirrors the larger conversation in sports today. How much power should star athletes really have? When you're Myles Garrett, your performance gives you leverage, but that leverage can also make you a target. Stefanski, meanwhile, is fighting for his professional life. If he loses the locker room, it might not matter how good his playbook is. The NFL is a results-driven league, and if results don't follow, accountability always climbs upward. Right now, Cleveland looks like a team teetering on the edge of implosion. Behind closed doors, some veterans are reportedly trying to broker peace. Players like Joel Bitonio and Nick Chubb, respected voices within the organization, are said to be encouraging both men to sit down and clear the air. They know that once media speculation takes hold, controlling the narrative becomes almost impossible. One wrong word in a press conference, one offhand comment on a podcast, and the story spins even further out of control. That's the danger of modern sports media. It amplifies every rumor, every whisper. And in Cleveland, whispers have turned into shouts. The Browns' upcoming schedule doesn't offer much breathing room either. Every game now doubles as a test of unity, a chance to see whether the players can rally around each other despite the noise. But make no mistake, if the tension isn't resolved soon, the locker room could completely fracture. Stefanski may have opened a wound that won't easily heal. If you followed the Browns long enough, you know this kind of turmoil feels painfully familiar. This franchise has seen more drama than most reality shows. Coaching changes, quarterback controversies, internal power struggles. Just when it seemed they'd finally built stability, something like this threatens to tear it all down. Some longtime fans are already comparing this to past meltdowns, moments where ego and frustration drown potential. And that's the real tragedy here. Cleveland finally had the roster, the chemistry, the momentum to make noise in the AFC. But now, instead of talking about playoff pushes, the headlines are about feuds and fury. The team's reputation as a drama magnet is re-emerging, and every negative story chips away at the credibility they've worked so hard to rebuild. For Stefanski and Garrett, the clock is ticking. Reconciliation isn't optional anymore. It's survival. Both men have to decide what matters more, pride or progress. Enjoying the content so far? Smash that like button and drop your take in the comments. We want to hear what you think about the Browns this season. As of now, no official statement has been released by the Browns, Stefanski, or Garrett. Silence, however, can sometimes speak louder than words. The front office's lack of denial suggests that there's truth buried in these rumors, and the longer they wait to address it, the more the speculation grows. If Stefanski truly did demand Garrett's departure, he's playing with fire. The Browns' ownership won't want to alienate the fan base, especially not over a clash of personalities. But if the coach feels he's lost control, drastic measures might be his only play. What happens next could define the future of both men and the franchise itself. Cleveland stands at a crossroads, with one of its brightest stars and its head coach locked in silent opposition. Whether this ends in reconciliation or rupture, one thing's certain. The entire NFL is watching, waiting to see which side of the story becomes legend. The tension between Myles Garrett and Dillon Gabriel continues to dominate speculation, with insiders suggesting that the situation is far from resolved and may define not only this season, but also the long-term trajectory of both players. Sources claim that Garrett's insistence on accountability has created a high-pressure environment that challenges Gabriel to accelerate his development while maintaining composure and performance under scrutiny. Analysts point out that such scenarios, though fraught with risk, can produce remarkable results, forging resilience, focus, and leadership in young athletes. Fans debate endlessly on social media, weighing the drama, potential outcomes, and the broader implications for the Browns' strategy and locker room culture. Rumors about roster changes, practice adjustments, and coaching interventions continue to circulate, each leak and observation adding new fuel to the story. Ultimately, the Garrett-Gabriel saga exemplifies the tension between veteran dominance and emerging talent, creating a narrative that blends personal confrontation, mentorship, and high-stakes competition into a spectacle that keeps the football world engaged and guessing. Every interaction, every comment, and every play now carries additional weight, leaving everyone watching to wonder whether this season will become a story of transformation, conflict, or a mixture of both. Finally, the Kelsey Sanders storyline exemplifies the contemporary NFL environment where talent, personality, media, and fan engagement intersect with unprecedented intensity. Cleveland's locker room dynamics, Kansas City's veteran strategy, and fan speculation create a multi-layered drama that transcends ordinary gameplay. The situation highlights the pressures faced by young quarterbacks, the influence of established stars, and the power of words to provoke reactions, influence perception, and even alter outcomes indirectly. As Sanders continues to develop, every throw, every decision, and every moment of composure will be scrutinized under Kelsey's lens, with analysts, fans, and media dissecting whether growth, resilience, or controversy will define his early career. Kelsey's blunt critique has become more than a comment. It is a narrative catalyst shaping conversations, creating tension, and capturing attention across platforms and audiences. With the NFL season progressing, every game, every matchup, and every interaction carries heightened significance, ensuring that this story will evolve, intensify, and dominate discussions in Cleveland, Kansas City, and beyond. The ongoing interplay between experience and youth, critique and response, and legend and potential makes this saga a defining subplot of the NFL season, captivating fans and fueling debate in ways that extend far beyond the field. Thanks for riding with us on another Browns Blitz. If you liked the video, share it with a fellow fan, hit subscribe, and ring that bell so you're always part of the Dawg Pound conversation. Go Browns!